Hey everyone, welcome back to Condone Yourself. We are in week 5 or episode 5 of season 14. And I'm Joe. We have OT.
What's up, people?
We have Kelly.
Hey everybody.
And let's just get into this episode and let's start off with the bummer with cornbread.
Yeah, that sucked donkey dick. It was so sad because I, for one, saw cornbread going to the final four at the very least. Like cornbread was very strong. Cornbread was very likable. Outside of her, moment last week where she was just frustrated and angry the entire episode. Yeah, she was very, very likable.
Probably because her leg was hurting.
Right. Everyone who talked about her said, I saw her at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it really was a testament to who she was as a queen and how everyone saw her. So it was devastating for me as a viewer, because she was also one of the most entertaining people on the show.
Yeah.
So, like not only are the queens losing a friend, but we as viewers are losing a really interesting plot point in all things cornbread.
Yeah.
Was Eureka the only other queen that also had to pull out of the competition? Or
in America?
In America, yeah. The UK one had one as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm bummed. You could tell the whole workroom, it just didn't feel the same without cornbread. And I feel like, some of the queens there, like, I don't know if attitude is the right word, but kind of like the way they were like communicating with each other seemed a little bit more rough than
normal. Especially in Untucked, there was
some
going on.
I was like, what's all this negative energy? Where did it come from?
It was very interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, before we go into the challenge, we do have to pay a little bit of time to that hilarious balloon.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. The mini
so fun.
That looks like so much fun.
I told OT last night, I'm like, I now want everything in my life decided like this. Like, what should I do? Like this, only the balloon will tell. Get up there and thrust.
How about George just not being able to pop?
I was like, Georgia, she might just want to like grab onto him or something.
She had no idea.
She's so tiny.
Carrie was thinking what all of us were, which is she's never topped anything in her life.
She's like, that bitch has never topped in her life.
And then Maddie had to get up there and basically like closed her eyes.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
I'm finding Maddie more and more attractive as a boy every week. I don't know what it is, but every week.
Good for you.
Yeah. every
well,
week.
Yeah, wait, no, wait.
To each his own.
In the words of Deja, like, yeah, just live your fantasy.
Yeah. You think so? Live your fantasy.
Yeah.
I guess.
Also, Maddie's ideas seem to be like on another level. And I'm really enjoying the ideas and the execution that he brings to the challenges. I wish that same level of creativity hit his drag. Although,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, last night I thought what he did was great, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I think his creativity is really, really off the charts. I also need to stop referring to him as he. And I realize that Maddie's the only person I do that to.
Well, I think you're right about her. She I just feel like would be a better producer for some of the other girls' shows. I just don't see her being in the front, having the spotlight, being the main attraction, because her drag sometimes can look really good, but then sometimes it can be like really lame, and I don't feel like she has je ne sais quoi to be like a full-fledged drag queen.
Come on, French.
Oui. Joe, you touched on this like a few episodes ago, but if Maddie can like tap into like creative zone of drag, and we'll talk about the runways, but like certainly this week in the runway she did that and it was like to her favor. Yeah, I think she is so far in the team challenges has been the brains behind her team, and like the wit and the great writing and directing and all of that have been on her teams anyway.
Do you think the queens defer to her because she's a straight man?
As they should.
I think she's probably getting a good reputation. But like even looking back at their PSA, I can barely remember what Maddie even did. And that's the problem. That's what's going to get her in this competition if she can't figure out a way to connect.
Well, let's talk about the challenge since we've kind of already started talking about it anyway. I thought that so we had Maddie's team of 4, and then it was what, Bosco, Daya, and Lady Camden, right? And then what was the other team?
Georges, Angeria,
Deja.
And
one was there one more?
Carrie.
Oh, Carrie. Right. Well, let's start with Bosco. Bosco did great this week.
Bosco directed the hell out of them too.
Bosco was really an amazing director. Yes. Yeah.
Not according to Daya and Untucked when she was like, I
did a 1.
I can't be mad right now. Like, let me save my anger till the end.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hold that because that was ridiculous. But I also appreciated that Bosco's look was like so different than everybody's and had an edge. She just stood out. And I think that's what she was really going for this week, is like, I have to find a way to push myself up towards the top. And she succeeded by like standing out in a good way.
Yeah.
Lady Camden too. Camden, that was her goal as well.
And it's so rare that we see that on Drag Race, right? Yeah. Normally the statement like, I'm going to be at the top this week is the kiss of death, right? And these people,
I'm really going to stand out this week.
I'm going to push myself, right? And then those are the same people who go home that episode. So to see the people say it and then also really achieve it was fun.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most interesting part of the entire episode.
And I liked the both of them. And I thought Diabetes did well too. It just sucks that Angeria was also funny again. You had to like acknowledge that. It was interesting that they didn't pick a team.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that would have made Daya feel a little bit better.
Maybe. You think that Bosco's team would have won?
Oh, hell yeah. They had to.
Yeah, definitely.
The other teams had like half of each of the other teams were lackluster.
Yeah.
Can we talk while we're discussing challenges about Carrie's idea about what ugly is? Did she think that she looked ugly?
Wait. Challenge? I'm ugly now.
Right.
She's like, I'm ugly. We're like, oh, so you're not scared about getting ugly. You just don't know what ugly is.
Was that your idea of like the wig was still cute. It wasn't, it wasn't fabulous. But it wasn't like a fabulous 24 inches, right?
Yeah.
But it was still a wearable wig.
That wig was like one of Maddie's fancy wigs. And then for Carrie, she was like, this whole thing, like, this is my crappy wig. I'll throw this on. Yeah. I'll throw on these glasses that make me look so hideous.
Yeah. She looked like a sexy librarian.
It was a 90s movie waiting to happen. Like the girl takes off her glasses and pulls out her ponytail, and you're like, she's hot.
She's all that.
It was that just blew my
similar to the Versace dress. It's like all the other queens have to be like, she thinks she's so ugly, right? Like she's still sexier than all of us.
Yeah.
And Cornbread even said in her goodbye video, she was like, Carrie, I know you can be ugly. I've seen you wake up in the morning.
I thought she did good though. I thought in the challenge,
she did really well.
She did really well in the challenge.
And she was on Angeria's team.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Angeria is just the same as the last challenge. It's just like so funny. She just funny, period, and has great
timing,
timing and rhythm. But that's just natural. She's not. I don't get the vibe from her that she's like, I'm acting now.
Right.
She's just naturally funny, and
she's
so
believable, and that's what makes it interesting because she's not directing herself.
Right.
Right. Like, remember Miss Cracker and how Miss Cracker was always directing herself. She was always in her head.
Always talking to herself.
And you could see that, like, when Cracker didn't have to be funny, Cracker was hilarious.
Yep.
But as soon as she had to be funny, she got in her head, she started directing herself. And that's what Angeria doesn't do. Angeria she trusts herself.
Yes.
That's what it is. She trusts herself to complete the job.
Yeah.
And
because I mean, I guess probably they tried to edit it like this, but even she kind of faltered in the beginning. Some queens would be like, oh, now I'm gonna get all anxious and like fold in on myself. And she was just like, oh wait, brush it off and then just do another take, and she was fine.
Georges, in my opinion, is so damn frustrating. She's gonna do great in any of the lip syncs because that's what Georges can do.
Yep.
And when she said, I'm going to have a hard time with this challenge because I don't like to hear myself talk, or I don't like talking, I'm paraphrasing here. I was like, why you here? Why you here, girl?
She doesn't
have to talk on Drag Race.
She doesn't seem excited.
Well, not Orion.
Yeah.
Well, and you see where Orion is. But I'm just saying, I was like, if you want to be like represent all the Latinas and you want to do well on Drag Race, you had to talk, bitch. You're gonna have to get comfortable with that. Break out the damn shell.
Not even talking. She doesn't seem excited about wanting to do any of it.
No.
Like no matter what the challenge, she'd be like, oh, I have to sew. I don't want to sew. Acting. Like, I don't want to have to talk. I don't want to. I
just want to be pretty. I want to.
Yeah, like, what do you? This isn't for you. This isn't for you.
This is she's undercooked, right? She just needs more. She needs to grow more as a drag queen because her view is very limited about about her own capabilities, right? A lot, and it's weird because so often we see people come on the show and they're discovering themselves, but they're still open, right? We saw that with Gottmik, we're seeing that with Angeria, but it seems like she's very closed off to new experiences. She just wants to stay where she's comfortable, which is being pretty and performing. Yeah. But that's not enough for Drag Race.
Don't come on Drag Race.
Yeah.
And here's the difference between how Georges approached it a little bit and how Orion did, right? So Orion was like, hey, we got to dress businessy. Okay, I'm gonna dress my business look, right? Like put a little bit of like her spin into it. Georges like took her eyelashes off. What was the point? You're still Georges. You can still be Georges in this whole PSA. Why are you changing into something you're not even comfortable with?
Right.
Well, she just seemed not excited about the challenge, so she didn't put any effort in to the actual outfit, to the makeup, because it's like she didn't care about it from the beginning, and so she just brushed it off.
Speaking of makeup, can we just take a moment, and I know we will discuss her enough later, and this will probably be the one positive thing I have to say, was it just me, or tell me how you all felt about it. Was this the first time that you felt like Daya was her own person and not Crystal Method? Because this was the first time to me in this challenge that I thought I saw Daya Betty and I didn't feel like I was looking at Crystal Method again.
Yeah, I think the makeup is still from the same family.
Yeah,
you can definitely. But I couldn't decide, and maybe it's a good thing though, but I couldn't decide if I was like afraid of those little lips or if I liked the little lips. She wore those in the runway too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm gonna just say, what'd you say?
It's very Baby Jane, right?
Yeah,
the little lips. What happened to Baby
I think there was a moment in Untucked when she like smiled or something. I'm like, okay, I think these are growing on me because it's the optical illusion that was really working.
I'm rewatching like season 12 and I guess I see some similarities, but I still don't see Crystal Method with Daya Betty. I don't see it.
Really?
I don't but makeup, like for me to recognize, I just recognize if it's a good look or a bad look. The things that I notice that are really different, like Bosco's makeup, I noticed that's different, right? I noticed something like Bianca Del Rio, right?
Or like Trixie Mattel, right?
But I feel like a lot of girls now are putting a lot of makeup on and making like these these interesting faces, like elaborate faces. And I feel like Diabetes one of them. Is it Crystal Method? I don't see it. Maybe it is, but that's not. I'm not going to pick up on that.
Right. I feel confused because I look at Diabetes, but everything about her is so reminiscent of Crystal Method. People from the same drag family have been on this show since the history of this show. But every time I've seen someone from the same drag family, they've all had their own sort of thing that was theirs. Nothing about Diabetes to me has been original.
Well, to round out that group, we talked a little bit about Bosco, we talked about Daya, but I thought Lady Camden's advantage was the British accent always makes you sound proper, which is perfect for a PSA where you're supposed to be very serious. And
the whisper voice was perfect.
Yeah,
it was so good.
She did great. I really liked her.
I was hollering when she was whisper talking. Like I was screaming laughing. It was so funny to me.
I will say this. I didn't really care for the first Gone Queens coming back, but I really liked how Kimora. I really liked how she was very supportive of her group. Whereas it seems like the other two were a little like catty or like disrespectful in some ways, or just like talking like and trying to do this.
Tempest especially was like, here's all the ideas. Here's what we're going to do. And I even texted OT and said, why are they doing her? She went out first. Like,
right.
It's not your challenge, bitch.
Don't listen. It's not, don't listen to her ideas because she went home first, literally. So.
And Jane was being like all mean. I was like, bitch, you went home first too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird because that's not how I remember James Mansfield.
It was very unflattering.
It was very entitled. It was very, I'm better than you. And I'm like, all these girls have made it to week 5. So
further than all of you combined. But I liked how that group with Kimora, they were like supportive, and Kimora's like, I can relate to Lady Camden because I'm a little bit more soft spoken.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for you. But
also that like breastplate bouncing up and down was hilarious.
It was so funny.
Jump more, scream louder.
I wrote it down, but I don't remember who said it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make that horse good at comedy and acting. Who said that?
I think that was one of the older queens. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was Tempest du Jour.
It might have been Tempest.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was hilarious. I want to skip to Jasmine and Orion after the challenge. What was that delusion? What was happening in their heads that they thought that they were like fantastic?
You mean in Untucked? And
no. This was right. Remember, right after the challenge, everyone's in the workroom.
Oh, in the makeup.
Yeah, they were doing the makeup and they were talking. And Jasmine and Orion were talking like they were the best. And I was like, what is happening?
Even when you were being coached, you were not getting good feedback. It wasn't like Michelle was like, great, good take. Good, you did a good job. It was like, you need to do it different, or that's really flat, or that, and like we need something more. You sound like the Count, 1
That was funny. That was the funny thing Maddie said, was that the Count thing. But I feel like Jasmine, I definitely feel more delusion than Orion, although Orion is very delusional, just because I don't remember Orion getting any feedback. It could have been a bad edit, but I don't remember Orion getting any feedback from anybody about like how they're talking. There's just people talking behind Ryan's back in confessionals.
The only thing I can remember about Orion's performance is, why were their arms everywhere?
I know, it was like this.
What about a PSA made you think that you need to arm act? I don't
know. I get the vibe that the girls don't feel as close to Orion.
No.
Because like even like in the Untucked, they were all talking to the other two.
Yeah,
talking to Orion. And I don't know if that maybe this is Orion thing, but I just didn't feel anybody like reaching out and trying to connect with Orion.
Well, we talked about that last week. Like Orion is really quiet, and that sort of introverted energy, especially in the pressure cooker that is Drag Race, it doesn't make you any friends, right? And we've seen it year after year after year. We saw it with Cameron Michaels. Remember, nobody felt close to Cameron Michaels. And remember at the reunion, when they asked,
hated him for that.
Right. And then when they went around, they said, who do you want to win? And nobody said Cameron Michaels because Cameron never connected with the other queens. He never really connected with the judges either. And so it was the exact same thing that we saw with Orion, because we talked about it last week. There was literally 3 sound bites from Orion last week, 3, maybe 4.
I think it's because they knew Cornbread was going home and they wanted to make sure like Cornbread had a lot of good material.
Yeah, that's probably really true.
Someone's got to go. Let's cut Orion.
He ain't saying nothing.
He's not doing anything anyway. And then the last one is Deja, which Deja just keeps being forgettable to me. I think she did okay in the challenge. I will talk about her outfit when we get to the runway, but for the challenge, to wrap that up, nothing stood out. So I guess just in the middle.
Yeah.
Meh.
Well, did anything happen? Nothing of note really. Oh, except for like Willow opening up to Angeria and Carrie, which was really cute. That was like the cute little moment.
I wrote down Willow and his Black Queens.
Yeah.
As my note.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Willow connects with the Black Queens. This is very interesting. That he lost Cornbread, and there are tons of other people in the room, but he immediately was like, and these Black girls.
These are my people.
But I get it, I think look, when it's right, it's right. And Carrie's personality is right. And Jerry's personality is right. And they're very warm people. And and that translates even through the TV screen, right? Like if I met them in person, I bet they would be so nice and so warm and welcoming. Yeah, sure, they'd be like, okay, get your picture. Okay, thanks for coming. But I remember meeting Adore Delano, right? I talked to her for 5 minutes, if it was 5 whole minutes. But in that 5 minutes, she made me feel like I was the only person in that room. And I think that's why so many people gravitated to her. And I think that's how, I think Carrie has that energy. I think Cornbread has that energy. Angeria has that energy. Willow has that energy. And that's why they bond.
And that's
I think Lady Camden has it too.
To
be honest.
I love Lady Camden.
And that's not something you can fake either.
No.
So you either got it or you don't, and people recognize it when you do. All right, well, let's just jump in then to the runway.
Bring it to the runway.
Spring has sprung. There was just so many things just kind of haphazardly glued or sewn on to items for lots of people's looks. And to me, most of it looked just kind of crafty and not
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you talking about Georges or Carrie?
I'm talking about as a, yes, exactly. I'm talking about as a whole. And I think Daya also had butterflies kind of. I'm just saying there was for me, that was a detraction from anybody who kind of had that look where it was you know what I'm gonna do for spring? Slap some flowers on my dress. I'm gonna slap some butterflies on my dress.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah. And so that, to kick it off with Georges, if you remove the hot glued, flowers from her dress, and the boa is just kind of a little dress. Her makeup was gorgeous, but I was just kind of mad about hers.
Honestly, this was one of the best looks from Georges, and that's just because the last 3 were basic.
Yeah.
I mean, this was. I was like, finally, I'm seeing something. She dragged something up, and so I loved it. I had a very positive reaction to that because I was in a drought with Georges.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm just gonna say, I also thought Georges' look was fantastic. The cut was right, the color was right,
the hair
was right, the makeup was right, the shoes were right. It was just right. Was it bordering basic? Yes, absolutely, Kelly. I will agree with you on that. She knows I can take something that's not great and make it look great because of my body style, because of the way that I present it to the judges.
Yeah. So was Carrie next?
Yes.
Carrie, I just think she was trying so hard to do something
ugly.
To do something ugly. She succeeded. She overthought the hell out of that.
That dress was ugly as hell. Ugly as hell.
The bottom sequin part, the whatever the Minnie Mouse situation up here was, I did like the flower kind of. I don't know what you.
Yeah, that was fine. That was fine.
If she had like that with just like an elegant kind of like, I mean, she could have made that part really pretty, but it was just a hodgepodge of like mess.
Like, did you just put this together 30 minutes ago?
Again, like, she brought that, right?
Right. She brought that. It was terrible. I was like, did you steal this from June? Because damn, it's ugly.
It looked like a bad Halloween costume. The end.
And it looked even worse.
Like a Halloween costume I would put together. I'm terrible.
It looked even worse and Untucked when she took off the flower collar, and it was just that weird, like condom looking head thing.
I just want to see the behind the scenes of how that outfit came to be. I want to see like the ideas. I want to see the people in the room. I want to see who checked it off. I want to see who challenged it or whatever. I want to see the behind the scenes of the making of that damn outfit. Trash.
Because it takes a hell of a lot of effort to make Carrie look not good, and that she succeeded in that.
Whoever made that, don't get none from them no more.
No,
that is not your friend, Carrie.
That is not your friend. That's an enemy.
You're only borrowing from J-Lo from now on.
I know.
Angeria, the bottom of that dress was fantastic, but those boobs, they were so lopsided. It was so weird to see her make such a huge mistake on the runway.
Yeah. I didn't notice on the runway.
I didn't notice it either until they called
until she was standing. Yeah. I didn't notice it until she was standing. But yeah, when she was walking, because she was moving, the optical illusion, you can't really tell. But as soon as she was standing still, that boob was so loud.
Again, but the bottom was that. So what happened? Was she wearing a different lopsided breastplate the first time she tried it on?
Sometimes, they do more stuff to their outfits when they get there. I doubt that she did that while she was there. I hope she didn't, because what she showed us when she sewed has been fantastic. So I think that was like that. And maybe it was one of those dresses that she had from back in the day, because like I said, from her stomach down, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But the rest of the way,
I think to your point, I think it is a dress she used to wear back in the day, and she stopped wearing it because of the lopsided boobs, and then she forgot. She put it on, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't wear this because of the boobs.
Yeah,
I forgot." It happens to me all the time. This shirt right here got a hole in it. Right.
Wait, the last thing I'll say about that is, if Georges is wearing that dress, they don't say anything.
Speaking of people who forgot, did Deja forget to stop putting things on her dress? Was she putting stuff on that dress until the moment they walked out? Was she putting stuff as she walked? What was
I blacked out when I saw Deja. I was
horrible.
It was pants, right?
It was. I don't even know.
Matter. It was ugly.
I couldn't get past the top because those flowers looked like the suction cups on the bottom of an octopus tentacle.
And like the bunny thing.
Yeah, what was that mask about? Like it was wrong on every level.
She needed a bunny mask to perfectly highlight her white makeup on her eyes.
I'm telling you, her outfit, Carrie's outfit, just proves why spring is my worst season.
It is a very hard season to dress for.
gross.
Going back to what we said before, Maddie did do a really good job at this challenge, and it was because
that was so innovative.
She did something creative. She didn't try to do like pretty gown situation.
Yeah,
I mean, she looked pretty.
She can't do pretty gowns. I think Maddie can only do concept drag, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was a good concept, and it looked good.
It was great. It was good.
It was
smart,
fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, and she got to hide like whatever she put on her face.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That kind of helps. It kind of a little bit camouflages her face makeup.
We got Maddie, Jasmine. I love her look. That it gave me Poison Ivy from Batman. The green corset with the thigh-high boots, and I thought it was beautiful.
I thought
the corset was too high because I could see like a little bit of her panty, and it didn't look right.
Orion. So here's what I'll say about Orion.
I liked Orion's look.
I liked Orion's look.
I liked it.
Also, that body. Did you see the waistline? And it wasn't cinched.
Yeah.
I think I was just more in shock because, well, so far, I don't think she's shown that much skin.
No.
Right? And when she walked out and that, I would expect that from like Georges, you know, but she walked out in that, she looked incredible.
I thought she looked like a bombshell.
Yes, I love
the wig, the makeup, and how dare them be like, I'm not getting spring. Well, what about Deja? She just did a bunny. Like, all of a sudden, bunnies aren't spring. You didn't say that to Deja.
What about Carrie? What was that? Throw up?
It was a spring mouse.
No, ain't no mouse got whatever that was on them.
Yeah, but I'm glad at least we got to see like what she's working with before she went home. But I liked it. It was so surprising.
Yeah, I just when I realized that she wasn't cinched and that was body.
Yeah.
Willow, the house. The dress was cute. I loved the house.
So
I loved the shtick, you know, turn around and the help me. But I will say, I wasn't surprised. Right at this point, it would be actually more interesting to me if Willow followed the assignment exactly.
The thing I loved about Willow that we saw in Untucked was you didn't see her wig at all, but she had on also, it's the details. Underneath that house had on a wig that matched her eye makeup perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't think any other queen is thinking of that. If you're not going to see their wig, they're probably like, okay, whatever. You're not going to see it, so I don't need to worry about it. But the fact that she was prepared for, I don't know, if someone asked her to take the house off, was incredible.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the details.
Yeah.
Speaking of details, do you even remember Diabetes on the runway? I don't.
She was another one with like, I think it was butterflies just like stuck all over her body.
I kind of liked her outfit, especially when she turned around in the back. I thought it was interesting. It's not something that I was like, oh my God, you know, gagging. No.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting in like a more positive way than I've been responding to her drag. So I liked it.
Lady Camden in that tea outfit with the dress and it was fantastic.
That was my favorite representation.
It was fantastic.
But the way she did it, the way she spilled the tea, I loved it.
Yeah.
Her makeup and like she was gorgeous. I was just like, well, you're my new crush. You're my new Drag Race.
Yeah, it was.
I had the initial crush on Jasmine for the entry looks, but now I have moved on to Lady Camden because I could not stop looking at her.
It was great because it was like a 2-for-1. It was high concept and it was also beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. And those two things don't always marry each other really well. Mm-hmm. Right. And she was able to pull off both simultaneously. Like she gave you this really interesting high concept drag, you know, like Lee Bowery, you know, sort of look where it's really about the look, but then she was still really beautiful.
Think about other queens trying to pull off basically wearing a table and how awful that could look if done correctly. But instead it was giving me those kind of like what Marie Antoinette, like when they had the big
The big bustling dresses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it would like stick way out, and there's a name for that, and I'm blanking.
I forgot what it's called too.
She did it in a way that was just right, so it still looked like you said, OT. It still looked good.
Yeah,
It didn't look like she was just wearing a table.
And that leaves Bosco, who replaying it in my mind, I still hated the dress before the reveal. Like
Yeah.
I was very happy there was a reveal, but I wish she just would have walked out as the ray of sunshine. Like I got it. I thought it was really cool, but she looked like a giant loofah sponge.
Yeah, it didn't have any shape.
I got the cloud part, and I'm just trying to think like maybe it was just like an ugly cloud and beautiful sunshine. Maybe.
Yeah, like that's what it was supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
You know, from a cloud to sunshine, but the cloud part, it did not resonate with me.
But I was obsessed with that wig, the white wig with the curls.
And the makeup with it was
her makeup was so pretty last night.
She deserved to win this week. I'm glad that she did. I thought that was great. I'm glad Lady Camden also like made it to the top 3. And then
I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of
Angeria yet again.
Angeria, yeah.
Even
Angeria
with
is like what challenge is Angeria gonna fail in? Oh, I liked Rue's look, by the way. For
the see-through.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cute.
I'm on the fence about it. I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it.
I like it. I like that she's keeping it spicy because before she seemed a little bit more pageant-y before, and now I feel like she's like trying to get a little bit more spicy and trying different silhouettes and stuff like that, and I like it.
That's because her her costume designer has won Emmys like 4 years in a row. So
that helps.
He's trying to keep winning. That's also him.
Yeah.
I did think that Orion was going to be in the bottom, but OT and I, Joe, were very surprised that Georges was in the bottom. I thought they were going to give her a pass again because they liked her runway. I was like, well, here we go. Another week in a row.
I was like, no, that bitch got to be in there. There is no one who did worse in the challenge than Georges.
Yeah.
You thought so? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Orion did bad, but it didn't look like Orion was thinking about it. Where Georges, I hate when I see people thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Orion could have just been like slow because like maybe she was drunk or something like that, and maybe that was a character or whatnot. I don't know, but Georges, you could tell, was just out of character. Whatever character she was trying to display, she was out of it.
But then as soon as they uttered that Georges was in the bottom, the lip sync was over already.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was kind of thinking was if Georges didn't know the word.
That was
fell multiple times.
Yeah. All the queens were rooting for Georges.
Her hair fell off.
You could hear it. You could hear everyone's like, come on, Georges, come on. I was like, God damn, Orion.
I really didn't like Orion.
No, but Orion I thought did better than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Just a hard draw against Georges.
I thought Orion gave it Orion's best, but when you are up against a powerhouse like Georges, someone who lives for the stage, lives to dance, actually is a good dancer, has great rhythm, is sexy, is beautiful, and it was the perfect song for what she gives, right? That high energy.
Yeah.
So it was
my head, my heart.
Yeah, it was the perfect song for someone like Georges, and it's unfortunate for Orion that it really just looked like from the start she didn't have a chance.
Yeah,
but she tried though. She tried.
She tried, and then Georges hit those snaps, and it was like, well, it's over.
And then she kicked off her shoes, which to me was sort of like giving up, right? That to me, when she kicked off her shoes, that was in my mind, that was her going, I concede.
Kicking off your shoes is the new throwing in the towel.
Yes.
Or the new taking off your wig.
Oh my God! Speaking of, her wig was coming off almost the entire time.
It was, but she
couldn't
that.
dance.
But
Yeah,
at least she didn't June Jambalaya it and try to mess
well,
with
no,
it
she
the whole
tried to
time.
fix it. She tried to fix it.
Oh,
She
I
didn't
didn't see
make it
that.
obvious. She was like putting her hands in the back of her head and trying to push it
Oh, I
forward.
didn't see that.
Yeah. Oh, she tried to fix it, but she didn't like June Jambalaya.
Because it was like that the whole time.
It was very discreet, but she couldn't. It would not move. It was too big.
Yeah.
Anything else, or should we do our can do's and can don'ts?
I'll do can do. Do bring cornbread back for season 15. That's it.
Well, they did with Eureka, right?
Yeah,
they didn't say anything. They didn't say anything this time. They just said
you know
she didn't have the golden chocolate.
Yeah, she's gonna come back though. Like, she didn't get eliminated. You can't go out like that.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad for the show. It's bad for her. Like, you can't go out like that. Like, they're gonna bring her back for season 15. They're probably gonna wait to tell us on the reunion special.
My can do was the random cameo by Sarah McLachlan.
That was good.
I died because everybody knows
funny.
her like sad ass ASPCA or whatever, the dog commercial. And for her, what did she even say? She's like,
this is wrong on every level.
That surprised me. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that was a fun surprise. Yeah. My can do again. Nope, it's not again, because last week it wasn't my can do. I just talked about it. But my can do will be probably every week that they do this. The trumpet sound that they make after people reveal that it's chocolate. When they go, it's chocolate, it's like I love that little sound. It just cracks me up.
It cracks me up when it's chocolate. It's so sad. It's chocolate.
Condones. And I guess we didn't really get into Untucked, but condones. Diabetes.
Don't you take mine.
Diabetes throughout all of Untucked is my condone. That elitist, delusional attitude that she was displaying, this idea, well, I need to get critiqued. Baby, people who ask for critiques normally don't get the ones that they thought they were going to get. Right? Like, and then attacking Jasmine, attacking other people, saying she was better than the people in her team who were obviously in the top.
It was very much that energy too of like, I'm not trying to be that girl. I'm not trying to do this, but it's very like, I'm not trying to be racist, but it's like,
but I'm being very racist.
But I'm being, if you have to say that, you're already headed down a bad path. So just be quiet,
Right.
That was my condone, but it was more like holistically. I felt like everybody, well, not everybody, but more than just Diabetes were.
It was also Deja.
We're being very bratty about being safe and questionable outfits. And I was like, wait, honey, this don't look great here. This ain't a winning look.
Yeah.
Hell, when you were in the top 3 last week, it wasn't a winning look.
And your performance was not a winning performance.
It sure wasn't. Everyone's delusional, which you know what? I love a good drag queen delusion. It's good, right? But to be bratty and bring like so much negative energy when y'all all are safe in front of people who are not safe, please, bitch, please.
Yeah,
it is not your time.
My condone, and I mentioned this last night to OT, is they need to get them better paper to write their notes on. It's always the most raggedy, wrinkled, like college rules notebook paper that they've torn out of some random journal that one of the lesbian crew had in their backpack. Just like, where are they getting this paper? They can't give them real paper. Oh, next week is they have another creation challenge, right?
Yeah, a sewing challenge.
Yeah, which will be interesting.
Which is good for Jasmine.
And then
Deja, because she's a seamstress, not a designer, a seamstress.
Yes.
And then will it be Snatch Game?
I'm ready for Snatch Game, so then Georges can go home. I'm bored.
Is that what you think is going to be the killer for Georges?
But
It has to be. She doesn't like to talk.
No, yeah.
But I forgot. I was thinking similar things. Like I'm like, oh, Georges is gonna go home soon because she's been towards the bottom, and Orion went home this week. But but then I remembered that she's such a good lip syncer, and now I'm wondering if she's ever gonna go home.
Yeah, she could Cameron Michaels this
early. No, that would not be a good show.
Here's my prediction. Will we replay this if this pans out to be correct? But she will run up against a slow song and someone will beat her.
They're going to give her the Kennedy, what they gave Kennedy Davenport for the lip sync assassin. They're going to give her a country song.
Oh my God. What a waste of Kennedy Davenport.
Yep.
What a waste.
Why bring her for that?
Assassin girl. Oh yeah, what song am I playing? Dolly Parton. And
no offense to Dolly. Dolly is amazing.
Right. We love Dolly.
We're going to bring Kennedy back. We want to see Kennedy dance.
Yeah, we want to see Kennedy Davenport. We don't. Anyway.
Like Trixie Mattel is a literal country artist. Have her come and do Dolly Parton. Make sure you listen to us on Spotify. Follow us there. You can see our cute faces on YouTube. Watch episodes there. We have accounts on Instagram. We have accounts on TikTok. You can email us at condoneyourselfpodcast@gmail.com. All sorts of ways to chat with us amazing folks. So
we're amazing.
Don't hesitate to reach out.
And once again, and as always, thank you for joining us for Condone Yourself. Please be sure to tune in again next week where we will be discussing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 14, Episode 6. It has been a fantastic time. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.
No.
Condone yourself.
That was, I could not.